in this model, we're going to talk about your basic human rights as part of the online anger management course. So I'm just going to share my screen to get the slides up. So grab yourself a pen and paper, because as we go through your basic human rights, certain things might trigger within you that you might question, and you might think, oh, I don't agree with that, or yeah, it's easier said than done. And just jot them down, because we can use that throughout the course. So let's begin with your basic human rights, okay? So you have numerous choices in your life beyond survival, beyond shelter, food, water, that sort of thing. These sort of basic human rights are what you have the right to help you grow and to improve your personal development, which fundamentally helps your anger. So you have the right to recognise and accept your own value systems as appropriate. Now, we're going to talk about values a little bit later, and your own values, you have the right to recognise and accept them as being appropriate. They might not be the same values as other people, but they're your values and they are appropriate. And you have the right to say no when you are feeling not ready, or you feel like something is unsafe or it might violate your values. You have the right to say no. Now, I know that that might feel like I don't have the right because my partner doesn't agree, but that's something we can work on as well. Now, I'm going to be saying this quite a lot, that each value, that each basic right that we're going to go through, you'll be learning and working through out the course. So you have the right to dignity and respect, and you have the right to make your own decisions. This is something that triggers a lot of anxiety and anger in people, because a lot of the time they don't feel like they've got the power, their own personal power. They don't feel like they've got the right to make their own decisions. But so your basic human right is you have that right to make your own decision. And you have the right to have your needs and wants respected by others. A fundamental key in anger management is knowing what your needs and your wants are, and being able to articulate that and verbalize that with other people. You need to know what your needs and wants are first. And that falls in line with what your values are, which we will look into later on in the course. So you have the right to terminate conversations with people who make you feel put down and humiliated. Easier said than done, right? It's easy to say that I have the right to terminate conversation when I feel like my point is getting, I'm not being able to put my point across to other people. Or you feel like your values are being quashed by others. But you have the right to terminate the conversation. And this course will help you how to do that. You have the right to not be responsible for other people's behaviours, actions, feelings, and problems. So you might trigger emotions in other people, but how they respond and how they act based on their own thoughts and feelings is their responsibility. Your responsibility is how you behave and how you process your thoughts and how you control your own emotions. So that is your human basic right. You're not responsible for other people's thoughts and feelings. You have the right to make mistakes and not be perfect. Now, throughout this course, there will be moments where I will make mistakes because I might get my words mixed up. But rather than keep on pressing stop or pause or starting again, I'm just going with the flow, because that's how I am. That's my personality. And I've given myself that right to make mistakes. And making mistakes is linked to guilt, which is an emotion that can lead to shame, which then causes suppressed anger. And that is something that we will work on later in the course. So you have the right to learn from your mistakes. It ties in with you have the right to make mistakes. You have the right to expect honesty from others. A lot of people find it really hard to be honest and speak the truth, but you have the right to receive that honesty from others. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. You have the right to receive it. You have the right to all of your feelings. You have the right to be angry with someone that you love. And that doesn't mean that you like the behaviour. But you have the right to be angry with them. That's okay. You have the right to feel scared and say, I'm afraid. In this society, we're taught that, you know, from a young person, be strong, be brave. Well, that's easier said than done again when your feelings, your fear, emotion is trying to prepare you to get yourself out of danger or to act. And if that's dampened down or diminished by others by saying be brave, then when you do feel afraid, you might feel guilty for feeling afraid. So you've got that right to feel scared and say, I'm afraid. You have the right to grieve over losses in your life. Loss does not necessarily mean the death of somebody. It can mean a breakup of a relationship or a loss of a job. And you have the right to feel grief and angry and sad about that. You have the right to safety and security. You have the right to make decisions based on your feelings. Now, if you're like me, I'm emotionally led, which sometimes can cause bad decisions because, you know, if I'm feeling sad about something without rationalizing it, I might act in a way that may not be beneficial to me. However, I have the right to make decisions based on how I'm feeling, as do you. And you have the right to change your mind at any time. You have the right to be happy. This is a key one here. So you have the right to feel happiness. Give yourself permission to feel that happiness. You don't have to wait for someone else to say to you, you can feel happy right now. You have that right to feel happy. And it's almost like some people feel like they need to deserve happiness. So I've done X, Y, Z, now I can feel happy. You don't have to do anything to feel happy. Just give yourself permission to be happy. You have that right to be happy. You have the right to stability and roots and stable, healthy relationships of your choice. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and other people don't particularly like them, you have that right to be in that relationship and to form foundation and stability around that relationship. You're the epicenter of that relationship. You and your partner are in a partnership, and you have that right. You have the right to own your personal space and time needs. So, for instance, like me, I'm an introvert and I like to be on my own a lot of the time because it helps me build up my energy. And sometimes when I'm in a group of people, I need to take myself away so that I can recuperate, you know, like get my energy levels up. And I have that right. I have that right to say, I just need time out right now. So just give me a little while. And so you have that right too, to your own personal space and your own time needs. You have the right to be relaxed, playful, and frivolous. We've all got the inner child in us. Some of us have forgotten what it's like to be playful. Some of us have become too serious, and it's almost like I'm an adult now. You know, I must be serious and I must be mature. This right isn't the same as that. This right is about being relaxed and being playful. So you have that right to get that inner child out. You have the right to be flexible and comfortable with doing so. You have the right to change and grow. That's your right, your prerogative to change the way you've been. And sometimes people, like friends, can be a bit, that's not how you are. That, you know, what you're like is that. But if you want to change the way you are, you have that right, okay? You have the right to improve your communication skills so that you may be understood. Communication skills is key in anger management. So throughout the course, you'll learn how to understand and acknowledge and identify what your emotions are telling you, and then verbalize that out to other people in an assertive way, not in an aggressive or passive aggressive way. This course is basically about being assertive and verbalizing what your needs and wants are. So you have that right to be open and improve your communication skills. You have the right to make friends and be comfortable around people. If we've got suppressed anger, sometimes that can make us shy away. and behave in a way that isn't authentic to ourselves. But you have the right to feel comfortable around people, and if you're not comfortable, then this is part of this course. Will help you identify why and how you can overcome that. You have the right to be in a non-abusive environment. So if you're around an environment where it's abusive, you have that right to get out. This is another one of those, this is easier said than done. And a lot of the time that's to do with your own self-esteem. If you're in a relationship where your partner's being abusive, sometimes our self-esteem make us feel like we're better off in this relationship because either no one else will love us, or your identity of your own self is so low that you can't even imagine being on your own. So you have that right to be out of a abusive environment. Okay, you have the right to be in a non-abusive environment. You have the right to trust others and earn your trust. Trusting yourself is fundamental here, because if you don't trust your own decisions and your own thoughts and your own emotions, it's really hard to then trust others. And this course will help you improve that and grow that. Get to a point where you can love yourself first and then trust yourself, so that then spills out into all areas of your life. You have the right to forgive others and yourself. This is linked to shame and guilt. You have the right to forgive yourself. If you're the type of person that has made a mistake in the past and you've just been ruminating over it and over in your head about that mistake, and you can't come to a place of self-forgiveness, this course is going to help you find that way of being able to help yourself to forgive yourself. But your basic human right is to forgive yourself and others. And finally, you have the right to give and receive unconditional love. You have that right to be loved. Now, there's lots of other basic human rights, and this is a very long list. But these are the ones that are fundamental to helping you identify what you have the right to do, so that you can get into a position of strength before you start to explore your own anger, your own emotions, peel away at what the layers underneath might be hiding within you that's preventing you from behaving in the way that you would like. So if anything triggered something in you based on your human basic rights, keep a note of that. Maybe go through each sentence if there's more than one, and reflect what images come to mind. What do you feel in your body? This is something that you'll learn in the course about when an emotion's triggered, how to recognize it in your body, and then identify why that's happening. A lot of this work might not be, it will be uncomfortable. Okay, I'm just, this is the honest truth here. Doing anger management training, working on your own anger, can be uncomfortable. Okay, so bear that in mind. But it's I kind of like to think of it like giving birth. If you've ever given birth and you had a kind of moment where giving birth was really painful, you have to go through the labour first, which is the painful part, and then giving birth, and then the baby comes out. So there's always an outcome. There's always like the release of like, oh, there it is. There's that new life. Yeah. So this is what this course is going to bring for you. You may potentially go through a bit of pain to get to the point of where you want to be, where you feel confident in yourself. You can assert yourself more, verbalize how you're feeling, improve your relationships. You have to go through a little bit of pain first, but the outcome is a new life and a new beginning. So look through all the your basic human rights in the worksheet that you will receive, and look forward to the next module in this training.